He will never be allowed back. Not after it. It was extremely late at night. My parents were out and I was left alone in the house. For the past couple of weeks, my uncle had been staying around for the winter holiday. My parents quite liked him because they found him funny, but I despised him. Every day he would always give me this horrid stare. It started off in the direction of my face, but the longer he stared, the further down my body he would look. Disgusting. When I had tried to tell my parents about it, they simply laughed and said he's probably just joking or something. He left one morning without anyone seeing him go. He left a message saying he had to rush out somewhere. I can't recall where. As I was lying in bed, watching Netflix, I shivered, even thinking about him. Suddenly, a notification rang out from my phone. I grabbed it. It was a Snap ad request. Immediately, I was distracted as I hit accept and waited for the guy who had added me to respond. Hey, X, the message read. I giggled and replied, Hey, XX. There was a pause for a moment as his Bitmoji waited on the screen, staring at me. I typed, You look really sexy. I gasped. I was a little surprised, to say the least, until I thought about the fact this guy hadn't seen me. I hadn't even sent a snap yet. Thanks, haha. How do you know? He didn't reply. His Bitmoji vanished, and I was left sat in chat, alone. I put the phone down, and for a moment I thought it was just another guy wanting to play with my feelings, like always. My eyebrows lifted as another snap came through. It was from him again, though this time it was a snap. I opened it. My entire stomach fell flat with dread. I was looking at a picture of me, in bed, staring at my phone. I couldn't move. The flash came from my wardrobe. Who's there? No reply. Dad? Mom? The wardrobe door slowly began to creak open. I saw the glint of a face emerging from the darkness. My uncle stared at me. His mouth widened into a revolting grin.
Hello, Jane.
Carefully, he crawled out of the wardrobe, stretching as he placed each foot one by one onto the floor. He let the phone drop to the floor.
I've been so patient.
I stared at him, my eyes filled with terror. I quivered and shrank back, slinking to the other side of the bed as I tried to distance myself from him. Under the covers, I held my phone. I began recording a voice message. You're a creep! He cackled and shifted about in place.
Oh, how excited you make me. How excited you've always made me.
His laugh came to an abrupt halt as his face dropped in its expression. He looked at me hungrily. I felt tears begin to well in my eyes as I reached the end of the bed. I had to stand up. As I left the safety net of my covers, I swept back until my spine touched the wall. He smirked.
Where do you go now, Jane?
He began reaching into his pocket. Don't! I shrieked. He ignored me and continued to stare as he inched towards the bed. Soon enough, he reached it and clambered on top. Slowly, carefully, as if to not disturb me. His hand stayed in his pocket, locked in, waiting.
2 days, Jane. I've been waiting 2 days in that bloody wardrobe, but I did it for you.
With fear as I imagined him watching me change. Vile. Get away! I screamed at him as he climbed down from the bed. He stood in front of me. For a moment, he said nothing, only staring at me as I shrank down, petrified. Suddenly, something snapped in him.
Don't you dare speak to me like that, little girl!
He grabbed me by the arm and hauled me upwards. He then threw me to the ground and cackled as I tried squirming away. He loved it. I almost made it to my feet when he stomped on my back, pushing me down against the floor.
Now, Jane, Let me show you why you should have stayed silent, wretched little.
The noise of the door opening downstairs cut him off. Both of us swiveled our heads to my bedroom door. Immediately, I screamed with all the capacity of my lungs, wailing for my parents to come and help. In an instant, the sound of footsteps came stampeding up the stairs. A tear drooled from my eye. I was saved. I was silenced soon after with a sharp kick to the head. I woke up what felt like hours later. My parents had asked me what had happened, why I was lying on the floor unconscious, and why the window had a gaping hole in it. I leapt into their arms and grabbed my phone. The voice message had recorded everything. As I showed it to them, out of the room, tears draining from her eyes as she vomited in the bathroom. My dad, on the other hand, visibly enraged, sprinted to grab the landline. The police arrived around 30 minutes later. My parents showed them the voice message, the smashed window, and the quivering child, me. They then went through and asked each and every one of the family if they had seen my uncle. None of them knew where he was. To this day, we don't. He vanished the morning he originally left. Then I have forever remained damaged. I don't trust any man in my family other than my father, and my wardrobe has been demolished and removed from my room. Yet every night, I check everywhere. Who knows? I might be hiding again.
خب حاجی اینم از داستان ترسناک امروزمون. اگه میخواید بازم براتون بذارم تو کامنت ها بگید. لایک سابسکرایب زنگ یادتون نره.